All right. Audio check. How's this microphone sound to you guys?
Excellent.
You sound good.
Good.
Joe is quiet.
Buttery smooth, man. Buttery smooth.
Buttery smooth. Well, Joe's on his headset.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Bill's like
Better?
4 times louder than Joe.
Better?
That's better.
Getting there.
Better?
Ah, there it is.
Yeah. There you go.
That must be noise canceling.
Where's those contacts, buddy?
Not wearing them today. I felt like shit all week.
All right. I thought you were going to make yourself pretty for the camera.
And vogue.
Make myself
and
pretty
walk.
for the camera.
No, I just was surprised you said you were going to wear contacts. I wore them for a little while, but man, they drove me crazy.
Yeah, believe me, I understand that.
And Jim, I was using those dailies as well. Those are like the only ones I could wear that didn't like. Yep.
You read my mind. I was just about to preach about the
really?
daily disposables.
Okay,
yeah. I love them. I've been using them since they were invented. I throw them out every day. Sleep without them, obviously. Put a fresh one in every day. And even if I buy a year at a time. When I get my prescription updated, you get a discount. I buy a whole year. That way I have them. And if you ever get like a piece of dust in your eye or an eyelash or something, you just throw it out, and put a new one in. Always have a couple extras with you. So, yeah, they're the best. And I've tried everything. I mean, I've been wearing contacts for over 40 years. And I've tried every single type that there was. Except for the real, like, ancient hard ones from the 70s, But,
yeah, those sound
I
like
remember
big torture.
Yeah.
Here, stick this hard thing on your eye. See how that works. Yeah.
I would have done it if I was an adult then.
You just don't like glasses that much, or you that strongly opposed to them, or is it just it? I mean,
I had to wear glasses since I was like 7 years old until I was 16 years old, and I hated it. So as soon as contacts became like commonplace and soft, and I just stuck with it. And
yeah, that makes sense. I got that.
Yeah, I'm just used to it now.
Yeah, I didn't have to wear them until 12 years ago, something like that. And I started out with, glasses, and I wasn't used to wearing glasses, so it was really annoying. And I would lose them and sit on them, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear contacts, and they were okay. I mean, there's an adjustment period for anything, obviously, but I didn't start with the daily ones, and yeah, they were just they were difficult to deal with. And then I switched to the dailies, and they were okay. I just could never get used to having something in my eye, even after like months and months and months of wearing them, and I had such a problem like getting them in and out, and I don't know if it's just like dexterity issue or something, but yeah, I just I gave up. I got lazy and was like, whatever. But
yeah, after all my experience, I could put my clean finger on my eyeball. I won't even blink. I mean, it just.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If I had to, briefly. I mean, not that I want to do that, but it's not. I'm not that sensitive to it anymore.
Yeah, I got it. Plus the technique. I mean, you're just so used to doing it. Yeah.
I remember.
Actually, I had dry eye too for a while. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Going back in the technology, I had soft lenses as a teenager, but at the time you had to put a little solution and put them in water and then put them in a little box that heated them up for like 30 minutes or something every night, and then you'd wear them for 6 months or a year or whatever, and get new ones. And one time I remember being at home in bed, and machine caught on fire on the bookcase. A good thing we were home. It was at night in my bedroom. I could have caught the whole house on fire. I mean, it sparked, and actual flames were coming out of it. And of course, I was there, so I got up and pulled the plug and saved the bookcase in the house. But I remember thinking when the disposables came out, that was in the back of my mind, like, okay, my house isn't going to catch on fire now.
Yeah, talk about a rude awakening, right? Man. I feel like things have gotten a lot safer with that kind of stuff. You know, like old electronics was more prone to that, but then I think, oh yeah, except for like batteries exploding, which I find to be, I don't worry about it, but I do find that to be like utterly terrifying. That like something in your pocket starts to like, you know, have some sort of cascading failure and like, you know, like,
You're gonna notice really before it gets hot enough to burn you.
really,
Most
you can
times.
feel it
Most
just
times, yeah.
it'll bulge. Okay. Oh
have
man.
a really old phone. Yeah, you'll see.
I
the
mean,
thing
there are
starts-
some exceptions from Samsung. What was it, the Note 7?
Something like that, yeah.
Is this Charlie's first time on camera, or was this your voice last time?
I don't remember.
Can you hear me?
You're very
buddy.
quiet. You're very, very quiet. We can hear you, but you're just very quiet.
Winnipeg scored. It's 4-3 in the third.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Am I any better now?
There you
Now we
go.
can, yes.
Just gonna got this new Scarlet thing, which is just too many knobs.
Got it. Well, you're in a room full of knobs, so you fit right in.
I'm using a new. I've got a new
Whoa,
Focusrite too.
Yeah, I think everything is, apart from me looking like I'm about to have a stroke, I think, from the redness in my face.
The
But,
color, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's okay.
It's great to be here. Finally.
Wonderful.
Welcome.
Here
We're
you
happy to
are.
have you.
Long time watcher, first time caller, whatever the typical saying is.
Yeah, yeah. It happens to all of us. We argue enough with our with the non-existent people. You know, that's my like origin story. Is every podcast I ever listened to, I would like get upset by something the host would say, and then I'd be like, you know what?
Except he can't
I'm gonna
remember
do
what it
something
was.
about it. No, never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
No.
Yeah.
Just a general sense of dissatisfaction, you know.
And he blames us for it.
Oh no, I blame Bill.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
gonna
no,
say. I
very
think it's just me.
Yeah.
Oh, Charles, you come and go. He's like the wind.
Oh,
He just-
has he been cut off? Oh, it's a Charles and a Charlie. What's that?
That's it.
Yeah.
yeah, call him Charlie when he comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that.
I don't-
Everybody I know that goes by the full name Charles, they absolutely hate the name Charlie.
I think anybody who has
Chuck.
makes a point of using the full name and then you use a shortened version, they generally don't like that. Like my wife is Rebecca, and for people to call her Becky or Becca, like she does not like that. And,
My manager, when he wants to piss me off, calls me Joseph.
My wife's name's Amanda. If you call her Mandy, you might want to run.
yeah.
Well, I have a friend called Charles who goes by the name Chuck. So
Really?
it's, people always have to ask the question, Chuck, especially if you're Australian, because that's the name for a chicken. And when I first met him, I introduced myself. So my name's Charlie, but just call me Charlie.
You don't hit me with my stuff.
Somebody's in the
Oh, are you
background.
getting admonished
The,
for saying Mandy?
No,
Oh yeah, somebody's been.
I did a little grabby grab there when she was walking away, and
Oh, bad boy.
It's required.
it is. If you want to stay married, it is.
I was gonna say she'd get mad if you didn't do it. That's the thing,
Yeah.
right? Sorry, Charlie.
No, it's
I
okay.
heard
I
him
was
getting
saying-
yelled at. I
What-
thought it was-
When I met this friend who's called Chuck, before I knew his name was
Sis.
Chuck, I just saw him on the list as Charles, and he said, I said to him, "I'm Charlie, just call me Charlie." People have called me Chaz and Chuck in the past, and I said, "Don't call me Chuck, it's the name of a chicken in Australia." And he said, well, I'm Charles, but you can call me Chuck. So it was like I was even more red than I am now, to say the least.
that is my my MO. I tend to find the most ridiculous thing to say to someone by accident and then say it. It's my gift. But then I have to be affable about it and be like, oh, it's just sorry about that. And I don't know. I think people
you get
find
used
that
to
be
it. Yeah,
endearing.
I've given.
Yeah.
Now I'm old. I don't care as much now I'm old.
Right.
That's the nice thing about getting older is that all the shit that was so prolific when you were younger, all the shit that just made so much of a difference, it is just meaningless now. And I love it.
I find my daughter's in 8th going to 9th grade, and every little thing is so important in her life. The most meaningless things in when you're outside of that part of your life. And it's just funny to watch, and remember how much you cared about what everybody said and everybody's opinion. And, it's just it's such a distant memory at this point, but, I can still remember it, and I'm so glad. I tell her all the time, I'm like, honey, I would never, there's nothing, no reward I can think of that would be great enough for me to go through that period of my life again. Just awful.
Never.
That continuous uncertainty, you're never sure of anything you do ever, I'm always wrong. Nothing looks right. Nothing. Yeah. It's just, I've always say the wrong thing. And yeah. Now the whole, not everything not hurting all the time would be nice. I'll take that part of it, I guess.
A little bit less
but you
of the
could go to your
arthritis
20s
would
for
be
that,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
What's that, Joe?
A little less of the arthritis would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Back when I didn't have to think about it, I could just literally, do anything I wanted at any point and not pay for it for the next week.
Oh, look, there's Charles.
Do you take turmeric? Turmeric is really good for arthritis. So I don't know if that's
I take a lot of other stuff for it, but I don't take turmeric.
Turmeric's really good for inflammation. If you want something natural. Anyway, yeah.
No, ashwagandha is actually really good for inflammation as well.
Also,
it maintains your cortisol levels as well, so
I love ashwagandha.
I end up taking that.
I think the ashwagandha I take has turmeric in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Possibly.
Yeah. If it's not in that, it's in the melatonin thing that I take along with it.
Actually, melatonin, taking that long term, has been found to increase instances of heart problems. So I quit taking it. Yeah.
Good job in my nighttime routine.
Crap.
I'm just letting you know.
Jim, did you see my? I don't know if you read my post about downloading from YouTube in the chat. Because I watched last week and you said you were struggling with downloading. Well, I mean, there's have you ever tried that video downloader?
Oh, the extension?
No, I do use.
I have.
No, it's just
there's a flat pack of it. I thought I had it.
No, I've never used a flat pack in my life. I don't really want to start. And I believe that app is it's the engine of it is YTDLP, as many of these apps are. So I don't know if that would solve the problem I was having, which was quite specific to that one video being forced to use a VPN. It wasn't a typical, normally I can download most everything from YouTube with YTDLP. But lately they've been throwing more and more blocks up as opposed to say 6 months or a year ago. And it tends to happen if you're logged in with a VPN, which I had to be to even access this particular geo-blocked item. So, on top of the fact that they already throw up a block to make you either, prove your cookies or, extract your cookies from the browser and put the switch in the command and the terminal. So this is not a coincidence. I'm not the only person going through this. Obviously, there's other people that have been complaining about this. I think even Bill said he has a hard time having YTDLP work. Usually it works for me, but once in a while there's a video that's like this that it's a hassle, and that I was glad that I found some other alternative, at least for temporarily.
Let me try it right now, just on my own doggone show, because somebody wanted to get on camera with me the next time. That might have been Londoner. Videos.
There's also, have you ever heard of pinch flat? No. So it will automatic, if you self-host, it will automatically download the videos from any particular channel. So if you want to download your own ones, you can just set it up so when a new channel comes, when a new video comes out, it automatically downloads it. It's actually pretty good. It's a real simple program to use.
I used to have some real crazy automation to do that for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of all these R's for doing various things, and there's also Tube.
No, when I was,
it's working.
When I was using what was it, YouTube DL, I had set up some Bash scripts to automate checking whether or not specific YouTube channels had updated. Well, for a while there, you could create RSS feeds from YouTube channels, and then when they stopped that was when I started having to set up all the automation to replace it. But that was fun. I enjoy.
Is Bill frozen, or is he? Oh no, I thought he was.
No, I was just trying YTDLP, and it actually worked this time. So clearly developers at YTDLP, they watch mintCast, and they heard our cries, and
they just updated it today and a couple days ago. There's been multiple updates, which because I have mine installed through the PPA. It stays on top of that automatically. It just shows up in my,
I've got the Snap
software updates, and I download it pretty quickly. So that helps to stay updated. And let me tell you, YouTube's monkeying around with a lot of things. For example, my beloved SmartTube, the Fire TV stick. The last week, there have been some incidences where it was giving me problems, and usually those guys are very responsive. They release an update and fix it pretty quickly. But, even without an update, it's back to working again. But yeah, I did have to install another piece of software that's similar to SmartTube on the Fire TV watch, and that's a decent alternative.
Well,
they're doing a lot at the moment. I use. Have you heard of Woogle? If you self-host, there's a really good program. Well, it's not working at the moment, called Woogle. So basically, it uses Google, but you don't get all the rubbish with it. So you can. It's just a front end for Google. It's like Sear XNG, which is also
Search NG. Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah, that's really good as well. But that one's working fine. But Woogle was just Google, and it was a really good app, but that stopped working for the moment. Unfortunately, the developer's on holiday, so I think he's going to fix it when he comes back. But yeah, that's a really interesting look. If you don't want to, but Google's doing a lot of funny things at the moment. There's also Invidious, which was a way of watching videos as well.
Maybe if they would leave shit alone, maybe they would have more time to keep things working, like Google Reader and Google Plus and all the other shit that they've let go. I mean, what are they fighting against anyway, for crying out loud, constantly moving the goalpost like that? What is the efficacy
of dominance? Yeah.
I mean, what is the efficacy of a few people, a few nerds, using a command line program to download videos that are available for the public to watch anyway? I mean, is it worth the effort for a large company just because 4 or 5 people out of 1 million might not see your stupid ads. I mean, come on. But I mean,
you've also
most
got
people
that Streisand
don't.
effect.
Yeah.
So the more people.
There was a Reddit thread.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, okay, I was just going to say there's a Reddit thread recently that I read where people were complaining about, and it was a shocking number of people. You figure if they're on Reddit, they're at least moderately tech savvy, maybe somewhat. But yeah, most people do not go through these lengths like I do or other people do to stay on top of the technology to do this. They just suffer through the ads, or they pay, or the premium service on YouTube, and that's what obviously wants. I myself I'll figure out as much as I need to not to suffer. And by the way, the thing I was recommending, the alternative to SmartTube, was called TizenTube. Want to look it up for yourself?
TizenTube.
TizenTube, yeah.
Okay.
Good type.
Android TV or TV.
Oh yeah,
device.
das ist
Yeah.
good. Das ist Gesundheit. Yeah.
It is a alternative.
Afternoon, gentlemen, anyway.
Yes.
I know for you it's evening here. Oh, somebody new.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. Also from over the pond. So yeah.
All right, yeah, where we speak properly, yeah?
No.
Yes. But
No. Yeah, where you add entire syllables to words like aluminum. You add
Aluminium.
Yeah, that's like 2 more letters and 1 more syllable.
Well, don't forget things
I'm
that
sorry.
end in A.
I'm sorry that
don't get
most
started.
Americans can't. Yeah, it must be. Are you trying to say that most Americans can't manage lots of syllables? Because that would imply that you're
I
saying
noticed that
most
you
of them are
have
quite
words
thick.
that you will take half the word out, like Worcestershire, and then you have words that you just arbitrarily add stuff to.
Actually, to be fair, I do live in a part of the country where they do put extra syllables in for nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Aluminium.
Dowen and Rowand and Browen.
Well, the one that always gets me is the R at the end of words with an A, which doesn't make any sense to me. I first couple times I heard it, I'm like, what is that?
I've heard people on the East Coast do that too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So what? Sorry, what? A? What? So what word are you on about?
Somebody called my wife Amanda one time, and I just started chuckling.
Instead of Amanda, it's like Amander, or there's just I'm having a hard time thinking of exact words, but
Yeah, okay, fine.
it might be more of a Cockney thing, but I'm not sure.
Have you been to Cockney?
So I'm assuming you're called Charlie, Immutable Charlie.
yes, that is my
Yes,
name.
we
It really
covered
is.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry. I have many superpowers, but
we were talking about-
telekinesis and telepathy isn't one of them.
Charles versus Charlie versus Chuck versus
Chaz. I was Chaz for a while when I was younger, but that didn't. Chaz.
Oh God, yeah, There used to be a thing I remember in the '90s where everybody had a nickname that ended with a Z. So Majid became Maz,
And there's
Safi
another one.
became Saz, and it was all that.
Yeah.
What?
The Z.
What was the other one?
You got a whole different word for
Oh yeah,
for
the
a
proper
letter.
letter. Yeah, the proper
Somebody,
letter. Yeah,
I
okay.
wonder where that came
Fine.
from, because that sounds like we just started doing something just to be different. I
Yeah,
don't
it's the
know.
kind of thing you do, I suppose.
We do.
Yeah. So whereabouts in the UK are you, Charlie?
In Cheshire. Up north.
Oh, all right, okay. Posh.
Oh, you mean
That's not
Chestershire?
proper.
Posh. Cheshire.
Yeah, look. See, I used to live in County Durham. Yeah, that's north. Do you know what I mean?
that's north,
You keep.
Is
you
it
know,
in North
you get to
Englandfordshire?
Yorkshire, you got another hour to go. What?
Is that in North Englandfordshire?
Oh, shut up. Flipping heck. If you're
Now
gonna
there,
make
you
jokes, at least make
understand the
good ones.
They would never understand, especially if a bit further you go into Newcastle. Sometimes I worked there when I was very
God.
young.
I'm surprised you don't call that Newsel.
To understand it.
Shut up. Yeah. And anyway, actually, the proper way of saying it is to put the emphasis on the second syllable. It's not Newcastle, it's Newcastle. That's how they say it up there.
You tell them.
Charlie, have you heard my multicultural irony joke that I made once on this that nobody else got because they're all Americans?
I know. Go on.
Yeah, so I'm from near Birmingham, right? And I had this job offer up in Newcastle, and they gave me like 1 day's notice, like, oh, can you come for an interview tomorrow? It's like, what time? 7. It's like, I'm working till 9 today. Oh, do you not want to come then? I said, I'll come. So I drove all the way up, right? And then and it was at St. James's Park. I got, the football stadium. I got the job, and then I thought I'd have a cup of tea and a sandwich before driving back down again, because it was like, I'd set off at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Anyway, there was this girl behind the counter, and she was really, really blonde, like really blonde, right? And pasty. Anyway.
Do you mean as in hair color or as in attitude?
No, in hair color. In hair color.
Oh right.
Right. Anyway, so I asked her for a sandwich and a cup of tea, and she goes, "Do you want 4 on your wall?" I went, "Excuse me, what? You want 4 on your wall?"
No, I don't want you to fart in
my
water.
And I was about to ask her. Yeah. And I was about to ask her if she was Eastern European or something because she was so blonde and pasty. Yeah. And then it clicked in my head in translation. Do I want flora on my roll? And I just thought to myself, here's a multicultural irony. An Indian guy from Birmingham goes up to Newcastle and thinks that the girl behind the counter is Eastern European because she doesn't speak English. I just thought that was funny. Do you know what I mean? But at least you got that joke. When I told it to these guys, they just kind of looked at me like, what?
No, we looked at you because your accent sucks anyway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so usual self. Mate, at least I sound like a character from Peppa Pig. Do you know what I mean? That's what what's his face? Bill's daughter reckons. So there you go.
Well, you and then Popey, he's got Peppa Pig's dad sound to him.
So anyway, so what are we talking about then, lads? Apart from
accents, evidently.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want to talk about. I mean, I'm looking at.
It's a show about Linux, so let's
everything and nothing.
I'm looking at SATA controllers right now. PCIe SATA controllers.
Oh God, I got a drawer full of those. You want one?
Oh, you got a PCIe 10 port?
10 of them? No, biggest I've got.
10 port.
Oh.
Or a 6 port or an 8 port. Something more than 5.
Bill, I really reckon, Bill, you should sell your. I reckon, Bill, you should sell all your RAM. You'll make a killing.
I am.
'Cause you've got a drawer full of RAM.
I do. I actually do. And I just ordered some more. I found out something terrible about.
What?
Because I use Corsair Vengeance RAM, like in this machine, and then this other big one down here, and I notice if you don't match up the version number, they're the only company that I'm aware of that does this. They'll have the exact same. I mean, the specifications are all the same, but if it's got a different version number, you could end up with a mismatch. Because sometimes it's made by Samsung, sometimes it's made by Micron, and they don't always, if you're doing overclocking and stuff like that, they won't always work well together, different version numbers. And people that are selling them on eBay have no idea that that's a thing. So unless they take a picture of the label side of the RAM to where you can zoom in and see, it's real hard. And I've bought several $100s worth of these things now, and I do not have 64 gigs of a matching set to put in any of these machines. Again, another first world problem, I know. But yeah, so now I might end up selling some of those, because those are going for $250 for 32 gigs, easy, for used ones right now.
On a completely separate
Crazy.
note, is anybody still into like Android ROMs and stuff like that? Well, have people moved on?
Well, I use Graphene OS. I don't use anything.
You mean Giraffing OS?
Okay. On a, have you got? I assume on a Pixel because that's made. It only supports Pixel devices at the minute.
Yeah, Pixel 9a. I've had it on different ones. I even sold a few on. I was even buying a few, let's say, Pixels and reselling them. Put Graphene on.
Oh, really?
Just resell it at £50 more, and it went quite well actually. But,
oh, really? Might do that.
Yeah. I forget we're live, but anyway, it's. But Graphene has changed. The big thing about Graphene that people have tried like a year before, and there was all sorts of problems. You couldn't get notifications and things like that. But now it's totally changed. Now you don't have to set up a separate user. You have what they call a private space, and so when you open it, it opens with all your other apps, and it really works. It's like butter. So much better now. So if you have got a Pixel, it's worth giving it another go, and it's so easy to set up. Just plug it in. I mean, I have an old Chromebook because it's the easiest thing. Plug it in, go to the website, press a button, press another one, press another one, and then you're on your way, and that's it. And it's brilliant at the moment. Yeah, but how long it will last?
The
biggest problem.
Say the last time yeah, go on.
Biggest problem at the moment is now with Google closing things down. Whether not that it's going to stop Graphene, the problem is that many people might not keep developing the apps now. That's the big issue. If you're only catering for a small minority because somebody's got to jump through hoops to unlock their phone, then maybe developers won't bother doing the apps. That's the big worry at the moment.
Haven't Motorola got some kind of deal with Graphene? I'm sure I saw something recently.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're going to produce a phone now for Graphene OS. It seems.
I wonder why. I wonder if that's a. I can't imagine it being a massive market. So I wonder if it's like enterprise facing, with all the kind of cybersecurity and all this kind of stuff. If you've got something which is as secure as that, it's something that maybe some enterprises might like. I don't know.
Well, yes, this is the idea. And also, now the European Union is trying to break away from the US control, the big companies of the US. So they're like Germany now. Just this week or the last couple of weeks, they've now said you've got to use in Germany the open format.
Files. Yeah, ODF and ODTs and all that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so they've pushed that. And now there's actually a company that makes phones that's going to try and replace the Google Play services. Now, this is the big problem with Graphene, is that if you don't have Google Play services, some apps won't work, especially banking apps. They just won't accept it because of lack of security. And some don't get notifications. But there is a company which a lot of the ROM makers, like EOS, which is another one that produces. Called, Merino. I'm not sure.
It's French, isn't it? I think it's a French one, is it?
That's
Something
right.
like that?
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're joining with this company, but Graphene OS hasn't joined them, it seems, at the moment. So, but it's brilliant. If anybody out there has had problems with Graphene OS before, then it's worth giving it a try because it's a totally different beast now. It's you don't miss notifications. Before, you were lucky you've got any notifications, but now it's really very smooth.
Hmm.
You can buy a Pixel now online very cheaply. $7.
Yeah, I even managed to get a Pixel Fold off eBay for about £300, which I thought wasn't a bad deal at all. Original Pixel Fold, that is.
Do any of you have an XL version of something? Like just the 6.8 or, larger screen like that? Because I have the 6.3. Okay, I have a Pixel 10, and I think I want to upgrade to the XL, like the Pro XL. You can get the Pro, but it's the same 6.3. But I want the XL.
Yeah, so it's 6.7. I want to say is the
6.8.
XL.
I think it says it's 6.8.
It's 6.8. So the biggest phone
Yeah,
I
and
ever had was a S25 Ultra. I had that last year, and
That's what this
that
is.
was 6.9 inches apparently. And I remember when I got it thinking, this means this is screen's almost as big as the Nexus 7 I had like 10 years ago. And it's pretty svelte actually, considering, you know, bezels
my
were
eyes are
small and
not
stuff
great.
like that.
And I'm really just at a point where I want more screen space, more screen real estate to like be able to have the font be bigger. And because if I turn the fonts up on here, you can obviously, you know, make things bigger, but then it looks really crowded and kind of like the UI obviously wasn't designed for, you know, text that size. Whereas I'm just thinking like if I get the larger one, it'll be just that extra amount that I can make the font that size and it'll look normal, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I mean, now that you've mentioned it, I don't think I've had a phone with a screen less than 6.7 for a couple of years. I think the last time I had one with a smaller screen was because it was a foldable, another one, which had a smaller outside screen because obviously it had the bigger inside screen, and I think that was what 6.3 on the outside, I think. So actually, I've been having the bigger sized phones for a while now, and for all that everybody says, oh, I like smaller phones for being, you know, easier to handle and whatever. It doesn't make a massive difference, I don't think. Actually, I don't think they're so unwieldy that you can't, you know, use. And yeah, I think it'd be fine. I don't think it would be too massive, but at the same time, it would be a bigger screen, as you say. You know.
The S24 Ultra.
Okay. What size screen is that?
What's that, 6.8?
That's 6.8, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good screen.
I mean, because when they say it's like the difference between 6.3 and 6.8 is it's about 25% larger, you know, realistically, like when you're holding it. And I think, yeah, that's probably just big enough. I mean, I don't want to go any bigger than that. And I'm kind of stuck on pixels right now. I just really enjoy how they work. So, and I mean, I'm obviously, you know, sucking from the Google teat on that one, but, you know, what can I do? Like, it's either that or Samsung.
You might want to try the phone in your hand.
Yeah, I may run into like Best Buy or something and just take a look at it. Anyway, yeah, I just didn't know because I mean, I have big hands and it's very easy for me to reach everyone on the phone, so it's not like that's an issue for me. I mean, it'll be probably more so, but yeah, I don't know. Just and I have right now. My eyes are like I'm fine for about the first half of the day, and everything looks nice and clear and is really not bad on here. The font rendering is very crisp and easy to read. But then by evening, like I'm like starting to really have a lot of fatigue, and it just gets harder and harder to see it. So yeah, I just feel like maybe the bigger screen will help. Me and my old man glasses and my old man phone. Have my daughter make fun of me.
I should make fun of you in any situation.
Soon, Eric, I mean, I don't think I would invest in it at the moment. Soon, you'll just be waving your hands around like this because you're the
you think that's coming?
The new glasses. There's so many different types of glasses that are coming out now.
Did you see that the Meta Ray-Bans? They figured out I forget what country, it was like Czechoslovakia. Some country figured out that it's all supported by underpaid workers in Africa. So when you have the augmented reality,
Leo was talking about this. I remember one.
Yeah, what are we looking at? And is that it's a strawberry? Yeah, and that's actually someone halfway around the world. Like, what a sham! Yeah, what a sham! Just an absolute, like, Amazon's grocery stores. No, that was never actually AI. That was just people. It's just like, wow. Smoke and mirrors, grift
Fake
economy.
It till
right?
you make it.
That's it.
Yeah,
brother.
Damn right, man.
Well, it looks like there's some really interesting glasses coming out that do various different things. So I really can't I think
This
there'll
is
be something coming soon.
I just had this sort of discussion about cameras at your house. Like, I like the idea of having cameras in my home, but I would never put a Nest camera anywhere on my house because I don't trust them even in the slightest. You know, if I had something that was easy to use and not a major corporation, I would use it. But that's the problem. If I want to set something like that up, it's on me to come up with a solution that isn't trading basically, my privacy, uh, for an outcome. Like it shouldn't be that hard. And I just feel like that every choice I make like that, wanting to have the convenience of a camera or the security of a camera in my home to check things when I'm not home is a trade-off where I'm just leaving basically this gaping hole, for people. I get the idea of like assumed privacy and stuff, but like I just don't want. I don't know. I I am very lax. Like I'm really not like hard edged when it comes to like everything has to be super secure and privacy and sharing data. Like I am pragmatic enough to accept like there are trade offs, but something like that, like surveillance, I'm still really I hate that so much. Like the township is using a lot of those like cameras that you hear these stories about where the feed is just like open. There's no real security in front of it, or like they're using the default admin passwords and stuff, and you can just get into all of those, systems and, pull up data on people and, cyber stalking and all this stuff. And you just think, the cameras that track your license plate and they basically can just like tell where you are, where you've been, where you go, that kind of stuff. I hate that, you know, I don't want that. And there's no escaping it because it's the government decides they're going to put that in place. And what are you going to do? You have no choice. So anyway,
see that
I just,
that I put in. Whoops, sorry.
Unfortunately,
surveillance is
now,
the one
with
thing.
yeah,
Good.
the way things are going at the moment now is that they're just storing up data. So they're just building up masses of data. They can't do anything with it at the moment because it's too much. But they're just waiting for AI to become at a point when it can go through and start making make analysis, and it'll just bring everybody together. So they'll know everything about
Yeah,
everybody.
it's interesting actually because today I was at a open day for my son who's applying for university, and he's applying for a business course, business management. Anyway, went to the university, and we saw the presentation on the business school and the business degrees at that place, and the guy asked the question, who here uses AI? Right? And obviously nobody really wanted to put their hands up. And he went, I mean, of course you all use AI. Well, I use AI. We all do, let's be honest. So we've actually put it into our curriculum. So there is now training in this business management degree of different AI models, which models work best for what, which kind of prompt kind of training, this type of saying, look, it's here to stay. Let's, instead of kind of trying to say no, you don't use it or this, that, and the other, it's like, okay, we will allow you to use it, we want you to use it, we want you to use it properly and sensibly and ethically as well, which I thought was a bit odd of a word to use, because we all know all the issues around it. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just some, I just thought it was interesting because at the same time, at the moment, he's in a college where, you can't do anything without writing some kind of disclaimer that I have not used AI in any part of this dissertation or something like that. It seemed like an interesting shift. The people kind of going, well, it's here, let's use it, let's do it properly, responsibly, put it into the course. It should be something that employers want as well.
Well, it's like everything in life, isn't it? When anything new comes along, people go against it, they fight against it, and then within a matter of a couple of years, it just becomes the norm, and the bar rises. So, I mean, now we have basically our privacy now in comparison what it was 20 years ago is nothing. But what it's going to be in 20 years is going to be, I mean, whatever we do to try and stop it without sound is going to be impossible, because the computers.
Yeah,
will just
you're
have
basically
so much
pissing in the wind,
information.
aren't you?
All you can do is slow it, and nobody wants to. People say, "Well, I'm not going to get involved in AI," but it's the same as like computers. When it was people are writing in ledgers instead of using, people said, "No, I'm not going to use it. It's devil's work and things like that." This is just the next stage of it, but it's a much worse stage. I mean, and I believe that the next 10 years is going to be horrendous. It's going to, especially for young people, as the world adapts to this mass unemployment, which is going to be created by AI. I think.
But
probably
will it really?
I truly believe it will.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of stuff about that, and I just kind of think it has the potential to do that, but will it actually? That's what I'm just saying. Will it? It's okay. Where have you seen it then, Jim? You're saying that if it's already started.
News headlines every week about the big companies. It's not just tech companies, but every kind of company laying off thousands of people, laying off huge percentages of their workforce. Why should they want to pay people taxes, withholding, health benefits here in America? Unlike your country, there's so many other things. If you can employ a fraction of the people, it's already been going on for decades with increased productivity with computers and technology. Have already reduced the workforce needed to do anything, but this is now the next evolution of it. Why should they pay people? They don't have to.
Would you? If I had a big business,
the oligarchs.
Well, eventually, if you fire enough people, there's not going to be anybody to purchase your product. So it's just going to be AI purchasing things from AI?
This is the problematic period we have to go through. Over time, then we've got to get used to a completely different way of life, which is where certain people will work and some people won't. Some
that
people
requires a little thing called a universal income.
Yes,
and
we're not
that
ready
works
for that,
great everywhere except here.
It works great if you've got a small population. So
I ain't working my ass off so somebody can sit on their ass and not do nothing. The hell you talking about?
We're headed for a dystopian future. That's what we're headed for, and I don't see any way around it, because people are too lazy and afraid to down their cell phone and do anything about it. So we may not live long enough to see it, but if you have children and you had any vision that your children or your grandchildren's lives are going to be better than yours or your parents, I think you should disabuse yourself of that notion right now, unless there's a revolution.
Absolutely.
Oh, I am going to a protest next weekend.
All right.
That'll fix it.
Oh yeah, that's
no,
but it might not fix it, but at least I can assert my dissent.
And that attitude that I just showed is exactly what makes everything worse, because we're just so cynical. Like, well, what can I do? Yeah.
But I think you have to, because there is talk now that, for example, a plumber will earn more than a lawyer very soon, because AI can give legal advice to anybody, but it can't fit a pipe until robotics come about. But I think that is a bit far in the future.
Yeah.
But anything,
what's his name?
Anything that requires knowledge.
The guy that owns Amazon, what's his name?
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos. He just bought a whole bunch of factories in order to find a way to automate them with robots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spend more money to save money, which makes no damn sense. Yeah, companies are, CEOs and companies are obsessed with minimizing labor. Like, that is the driving force behind so much of this technology. The reason AI is a wet dream is that it's like, ooh, we can get rid of people because we hate people. We hate people who work for us. We hate people that buy our products. We hate everybody except for the people who give us money, and the shareholders. So it's exactly what AI is all about. They've already figured out, we'll let AI make decisions. Like, I watched this video about how Amazon was it Amazon or Google? One of the two were basically letting the AI push, like, junior developers push things to production. And the AI had deduced that by was something like resetting production. Like just it had just thought, look, okay, the way to fix this problem that I'm helping you code is if we just reset production. And it literally took down some action, some portion of their like cloud service for like a day, because that's what the AI thought we should do. And the junior developer was like, okay, if you say so, and they pushed the change, and there was no safeguard in place and nothing to stop it. And basically it was like, this is your dystopian AI future. Like, you know, you need an AI to watch the AI while it's doing AI. You know, it's just, it's ridiculous. And the whole reason is because companies hate the fact that the senior developers get paid actual money and have, you know, a say in what happens. Like there's just this distaste that they have, disdain for people. Like they just hate hate people. It's amazing. Like I don't understand where this class of you know, they say CEOs are sort of like more likely to be psychopaths, if you've ever seen that statistic or not. But
yeah, 100%.
There's something about that mindset that makes you like suitable to run a company, also makes you like mentally you know, detached from human emotion and human sympathy, empathy, that kind of thing, which is kind of telling, I think, in a lot of ways. But you know, AI, that is the promise. That is what's selling it. That's what makes people, I mean, normal people, like day to day, they think they're getting qualified information, like good information. And also the sycophant aspect of this, where, you know, everything you say, AI will come back and say, that's a great idea. Wow, you're so smart. You're so special. You're incredible. And like everybody's like, oh, they're right. I am so smart. I am so special. It's like, you know, so you've got that end of it, and then the other end of it is you can fire all your workers because everything that they used to do, AI can do. And then they're finding out, oh no, that's actually completely wrong, because all of the promises they're making right now are not for large language models. It's for advanced general intelligence. So AGI is really what AI is supposed to be, that it isn't right now because nobody's figured out a way to do it. The best they've been able to provide is an LLM, you know, an agentic type approach, which is not, you know, intelligence. It's just word matching and guessing, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not what it's promised to be. It does have its uses. I find ways to use it myself. It's just another technology, another tool, but it is not the like panacea of, you know, human knowledge and capability. And ironically, you know, we're supposed to use technology, right, to better our lives, to take away the dangerous, repetitive, stressful types of things that we do, that, you know, we can use machines for, right? Historically, that's what we've used technology for. And this is like a perversion of it in a way, because it's the things that make us most human, you know, expression, art forms, music, you know, visual arts, things like that. And AI and LLMs are like subverting that, you know. And I've been watching these shows on like genealogy, and you think, okay, it amazes me whenever they go back and they find an early photograph of someone from like the 1800s, and they're like, you know, here's your great 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 grandfather when he was 14 years old, and you're like, where was that picture? Like, how do they have records of this stuff? And it occurred to me that because of AI, well, first of all, we don't produce printed physical photos anymore. Everything's just a digital image, right? But then secondarily, with AI imagery, like from the point that an LLM was made available that can produce images, we can no longer just assume that an image is real, right? Like you just have to have this skepticism. Like I watched a thing yesterday where the guy's like, the tragedy of my life is from now until forever, I have to continuously question if what I'm seeing is real or generated, right? Is this a real photo? Is this a real video? Was this a real voice? Was this a real, you know, or is this something that yeah.
Why doesn't AI have to cite its sources?
The only one I use that's very good at that is Perplexity. If you've ever used it for any kind of research or anything.
Yeah.
It gives you, for each fact, it gives you a specific resource that you can go back and verify. So,
Sometimes the
the rest of them-
resource is written by AI and
Yeah, well, that's AI slop, right?
quoting itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, now
and that's
if we look now, like just in 2 years, the distance that this thing has travelled. I mean, remember when we first started? I mean, the hallucinations were all over the place. You know, they were just making up rubbish as they went along. You had to have a perfect prompt to get the information. But now you just you can talk to it, you can just ask it, have a whole conversation. So in this 2-year period, and if you think of how fast the development is accelerating, within 6 or 7 years, we're not even going to recognize. It's going to be absolutely incredible, but also terrible at the same time.
Well, I wondered. I think there's some. I don't think that's completely incorrect, but I do think we are going to hit a wall in terms of the capabilities of large language models and their ability to scale, to increase their capabilities in terms of like what you can do with them, because all of that is driven by putting as much data as you can into them. And I think really what we've seen is like a saturation there. I don't know that there's much like pure clean data left that hasn't been drawn into those systems. And if the premise of them getting smarter, getting better is through new input, right? The only real input they're getting is the interaction with people, which, okay, I guess that's probably that would be meaningful or more meaningful if people were scrutinizing the output and giving feedback and correcting things, right? But I don't think that's really what's happening. It's much more of like a one-way process. If it was collaborative, then I think that the models would get better, but that's not really how they're set up. And so secondarily to that, like you said, you have so much AI slop now that a great percentage of the internet, just pages that are on the internet, are now generated by AI. And whether that was through someone using an AI tool to generate it, or just AI generating its own content at this point, because that's an experiment they're doing. Like, let's just let AI create a bunch of stuff and see what happens, And then you have AI, harvesting all of this stuff, putting it back in, and then you have labs that are generating its own content to then. I mean, the idea that there is any sort of like untouched, fresh fallen snow of knowledge out there I don't think it exists really. So I think they've kind of, and my point in saying that, I think they've kind of like hit the limit of what they're going to be able to do in many ways with LLMs. So we'll see. It's a great experiment.
Only time will tell. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I mean, like everything, it will blow. It goes big, then it all just falls in on itself, and from those ashes, the real thing grows. Let's just say. So, and I think that's how it is going to start, sort of cycling, because it's going to be looking at its own AI generated stuff, and it'll be learning from its own AI. So things are going to spiral downwards because it'll just be known for fake information. But I do believe then it will learn, and then it will increase. But it's just looking at the way that it's developed over a short period of time is a reflection on how the future is going to be. So,
if I were a young person right now, I think I would be pretty apathetic, right, about my situation, about like what I could achieve, what's possible, and we're talking about like very like modest things, like can I afford a home, can I afford a family, can I do things in my life aspirationally, right? Because I think that drives a lot of humanity and creativity and satisfaction and happiness and all of that. And I just feel like if you were to just ask the average younger person whether they were optimistic or pessimistic, I think you'd start to see, like, if that was a judge of like generationally, like whether people had optimism for the future or pessimism. I feel like a lot of younger people seem to be very pessimistic right now. and feel powerless.
With good reason.
Yeah,
Sure.
with good reason. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they feel like they don't have any agency, they don't have any power, they don't have any wealth. They don't have any ability to make their situation better. And to your point, like from a generational standpoint, you would think each generation you strive to give your children more, and that they, then give their children more, and like there's a continuous and gradual improvement. And I don't know about that.
Anyway, then, gentlemen, I shall love you and leave you. It was nice to meet you, Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and I'll probably see you guys on the show next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Take it.
Take care.
See you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting to see. I even wonder how it will affect Linux, and I don't mean from like age verification, but what will Linux become? I mean, I foresee the future being that we don't have our own computers. Everything will be one big mainframe, and we'll all be obliged to log into that. It'll be like one national, hopefully never worldwide mainframe, but that's the way it's sort of heading to at the moment. I just hope that we can.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it is a bit sort of space age, but already, that they want to control things. Everybody wants to control things. Now everything is moving online. Already, so many things now have changed from being managed locally. I mean, before, like 5 years ago, everything was something you would download the app. Nowadays, everything is going online. So, and most of them are either Google, AWS, Azure, Microsoft. So it's all becoming. We might have our little fun thing to play with our Linux at home, but for actual doing things, I think everything will happen in one big mainframe.
Actually, I have to agree with you with the whole centralized thing, the centralized mainframe that everybody would log into, because it just makes sense that that would be the most profitable for the people that want our information. The easiest way for them to have it. So it's like
how long
all these
will it
different
be?
companies that tried to centralize gaming.
Well, open access.
Well, they have-
right? Open access. Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, it'll be a combination like it is now. Or you'll have your local hardware, but you'll have to log in online, obviously, for all these different services, because the services have to be online. That's not a plot by evil billionaires. The services only work if they're connected to, like the way we're all talking from separate places right now. We have to be online. So, but we all have a local computer. So yeah, the services will be online. Your computer of some kind, phone or tablet, will be local in your hand. So yeah,
but
they don't
that
need
will be just
I think
a
they'll probably
device.
they'll all end up thin clients.
terminal.
Essentially.
Exactly, that's what I was going to. Yeah, they're going to be just, whether it be phone, you're just going to be linked into the mainframe, and you won't be doing anything with it. It's all going to be immutable, which I see as the future. Hence the nickname here. But
Hence your name.
yeah, well, I think that's the future, the way it's heading. I mean, I only use immutable flatbacks, so because I don't.
One person that refuses to use flat packs, one person that only uses flat packs.
I only use flatbacks.
I
That's it,
refuse.
and I don't. Yeah. Well, I just. Everybody to their own,
No.
I like flat packs, and I think if a program isn't in a flat pack, it's not worth using, which is probably a bit harsh. But I think everybody should produce a flat pack. But that's a debate for another time, I suppose. But I just see
I
it
don't
like
mind existence.
Go on.
I don't mind the existence of flat packs. I just don't like occasionally when the only way to use a program is a flat pack. I kind of self-exclude from that. I haven't really had any issues with a piece of software that I desperately wanted to use that was only a flat pack. There's almost always, especially being on Mint, with Ubuntu base, that there's always a PPA or I'm open to app images. I don't mind them, or a deb file, or just a binary. You download the tarball and stick it in my /opt folder, and there's almost always another way. So Flatpaks don't bother me. I just don't like the fact that they're so big, and when I had a small hard drive, I really felt like I don't want to use them. It's just I don't have enough space. And sure enough, after a year and a half after I switched to Linux in 2023, I had to just buy a new hard drive for my laptop because I filled it up with my local emails and various other things.
I went to this week. I was playing around with the photo editing app, so like raw photography, and I was using like Darktable, Raw Therapy, those different RAWs ones. So all these different apps, and most of them were available on Flatpak, and one of them I had to install locally. And the one I had to install locally, the number of dependencies that it had to pull in was shocking. And I know that it does the same thing in Flatpak, but the thing I appreciate about Flatpak is none of that pollutes my local system, right? All of that is just separate. It's all just whatever garbage it needs, and it's not garbage, obviously, but it looks like garbage from my perspective. It's just a lot of extra stuff that I don't, I want that executable, right? I want the binary that runs the program. Well, okay, there's all of these libraries and connected things and dependencies that it needs. Whenever I install that on my local system through a deb package and RPM, whatever, I'm now pulling in all of that extra like surface, right? There's a potential for any one of those things to be pollution, like to be a negative thing on my system, and I don't like that. And this is why I like immutable. This is what the concept about immutable that I do like is that the system is paramount. Nothing should ever touch it. Nothing should ever manipulate it. Like it is just a snapshot in time of that operating system, a known good, and me coming in and injecting a lot of like suspect packages, even if they're in the repository, because nobody actually verifies any of that stuff that's in the repository. Don't fool yourself there. Like it's not overtly wrong or incorrect, but there's plenty of bugs and stuff in there that just haven't been, brought to the surface, whatever. That's why I like things like Flatpak, and you can say snaps as well, even app images, is that anything that's self-contained or, cordoned off on its own keeps it out of that, that underlying system. And so that's why, yes, absolutely, if you look at the amount of data that's consumed from Flatpaks and snaps, they absolutely take up extra room. But the utility of that, the benefit of that for me is that it doesn't, I just don't have the problems I used to have with the cruft, with the dependencies, all of that garbage that just ended up being a problem, for me over time. So that's how I arrived at enjoying and really appreciating Flatpaks. And now, to like Charlie's point, like if there's not a Flatpak of something, I usually won't even bother. Like I'm just like, I don't want it. I don't want it bad enough.
Are you on an immutable?
Yeah. No, I'm not at the moment, and that's only because the technology isn't robust and mature enough yet. It's getting there, and every month that goes by, it gets a little bit closer. I'm not a huge fan of Fedora. That's another aspect of it. Is it just seems like everybody who's in immutable is like fixated on Fedora as a base, and I mean, fine, whatever. But
Fedora is the main one at the moment. There's a few new ones. There's I don't know if you've heard of Pizza Loving Nerd. He used to be a young chap who was always,
I know. Yeah, I know him. He used to be.
Yeah, he started his own immutable, which looks interesting. That's based on Alma Linux, and that's still OS, so that's quite interesting. That's something that's just starting out. And of course now GNOME OS, which at the moment is just for people who want to test GNOME, but there after FOSDAM and the meeting, there is a lot of talk about them bringing out stability once they can get the system D _home D there's something around that needs to be fixed, and then they'll bring out theirs, just as KDE has brought out their own KDE Linux. So, a lot of them are heading that way. Of course, Bazite, you've got all the UBlue different ones there. So there is a lot of work happening on that.
But it's not GNOME OS, is it? It's because they already have a GNOME OS, and that one isn't the... They're coming up with a completely different new one, right?
Well, no, this is GNOME OS is just a nightly, so it's like just for testing. It is immutable. But now there is talk about making one that's actually stable, where people can actually use it. At the moment, it's too, it's now they brought out GNOME 50, so it'll jump onto. No, I think I'm actually on it now at the moment. I'm actually on GNOME OS at the moment. I'm using this laptop, but that's. I mean, even if an update breaks your system, you can always go back anyway to the previous one and just install that. So it is reasonably stable. But to make an actual proper stable, they bring out stable, but it doesn't get any updates. So it's not something you can really use as a proper OS at the moment. But it's interesting the way it's going at the moment. So I'm not 100% sure. So don't take everything I've just said as being gospel. But
no, that's fine.
The information I understood on the situation. So it's really exciting towards that, and I think that's the way to go, especially with so many more viruses hitting Linux now. These things, it needs to be basically so you can do whatever you want and then reboot and away you go. Issues would be just wiped out in theory.
It's funny because for as much as I dislike the Apple experience, I think Apple in general just is difficult for me to get my head around. I don't really love, but I do love the way that they approach their products, and I like I don't know, I like the idea of the distribution, the desktop environment being the distribution. You know what I mean? I don't know what is appealing to me about it, but I would love to use GNOME's distro that they built, that they put together, that they, and so, but I tried GNOME OS, and it's just, it's really just a test bed. It's more or less just a way for you to get an unadulterated copy of GNOME to test more or less. It's not necessarily you can run it, and you can. It is a distribution, but it's not it's kind of like how Neon, KDE Neon was never intended to be a distribution. It was just a way to test KDE Plasma, and I think they're doing the same thing, aren't they? They're coming up with a dedicated KDE distro that isn't Neon.
Well, it exists already. It's basic. I think it was KDE Banana or something before, but now it's come out as KDE Linux. I don't use KDE.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know it was out.
I don't go for it.
I have a question about Immutable. Here's how you could sell me on Immutable. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Luna's been in the chat recently, by the way. Oh, anyway, I was just about to say, here's how you could sell me, right? When you go to your home folder, you hit Control-H to show your hidden files. Do you still have all those annoying as F dot files, config dot folders and dot files and all that configuration stuff, just like you do on every Linux distro?
Yes, everything's the same. When you reboot it, your home folder is the same.
Right, your home folder is not immutable. Right, so it's the home is still writable. It is where all of the configuration goes. If you're installing Flatpaks, it's where those go. Yeah, so home is still that's the userland layer on top of the distro, which is immutable. So that's kind of how that functions, is that the underlying base is like an AB root. It stays. There's an update. It gives you the new version. If the new version doesn't work, you fall back to the old version. But the layer above that stays separate, functionally. So
your home
Immutable doesn't solve my main beef with Linux. So it doesn't really fix the problem I have. But okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
it's
my
intended
little thing. I don't like all that junk in the home folder. But yeah, it's the same in Immutable
Gotcha.
as in all the other distros.
Right, and there are standards
yeah.
for. It's really that people don't follow standards. That's why a lot of that cruft gets put there in the first place. Is that there are desktop standards for like where configuration files are supposed to go, like and it makes doing things like moving systems, backing up, reinstalling a challenge, because now you need to know where things have been squirreled away. Instead of just being in this one place that config files go, which there is a standard for. It's just that people choose to not follow it.
XDG spec.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's specs for like if you have software, you've installed it, and you need to store a configuration option for this software, it should all go into like the config folder, I believe, is where it's supposed to go. But they end up creating their own dot folders, and I don't know. It can be frustrating, but I just installed Mint, and had to go from Pop OS to Mint, and yeah, it was like, how do I? And I remembered almost everything. There were a few things that I forgot, but I almost had everything. The other thing I don't like about assuming everything goes in home is that unless you have home as a separate disk partition, if home is on the same partition as root, then you're potentially going to grow that partition. Like, so the way I do it is I have like a root partition that has the home folder, but then I do soft links to a separate disk. And so that means all of my real data storage is separate from the distro, meaning that if I wiped out the whole distro, I would still have all of my data as a separate entity. And then I'm just linking to it, which the way Linux handles the links is it's essentially like it is that thing. It's just linking to it. And it's very convenient. The problem is for things like Flatpaks and other things, they make a lot of assumptions about where the home, like how the home folder operates, how much space is there. And so I actually have to go in and create manual links to move Flatpak data, to move different things, because there's no easy, convenient way for me to just say, like, I want Flatpaks to be here, or I want them to be there, or I want this, other standard to be here and there. So there are definitely things in Linux that are difficult to manage if you're trying to do anything that isn't just, here's a terabyte disk and just throw everything on one place, on one partition. And that's where the finesse of it comes in, that it can be difficult if you're trying to do anything that isn't just dump it all in one place. So, and a lot of it is just trial and error, because even if you know best practice, even if you understand how, corporate system works, how different things work, that doesn't mean that someone comes along and doesn't do something completely different, which happens. So, and you just learn by making mistakes, unfortunately. So, fun. That's why people in IT get earn their money, I guess.
Are those the HyperX clouds on your head?
It's HyperX Alpha, the cheaper one.
Alpha, okay. See, that's a good pair of headphones, Jim.
Yeah,
Jim. I couldn't
Jim.
see the cord, or I wouldn't have said the cloud.
Got to up your headphone game.
Right?
Don't use the $30.
I've been telling them that since day one, or at least plug in the USB so the pretty lights are on.
These are the best. I love these. Are my favorite.
Bone conduction. Are those?
Oh, they're just
the shocks.
Yeah,
the
shocks.
Open.
They're just
open com. No, they're not the open comms. They're the open runs, because they don't have the mic attached. Yeah. Okay.
But they're brilliant. I walk everywhere with them. People think I've got dodgy hearing aids, but they're great. They're working now perfectly.
You're not getting any lag on those?
I can retort.
Sorry, I missed that.
Are you not getting,
any lag, Charlie?
not lag as in. I'm only getting lag
Latency.
from our situation, you know. But no problem with no lag on anything else.
So I've noticed that when I try to, I've got a monitor. The Focusrite is running a monitor of this microphone, and if I try to use anything wireless, then there's just enough lag to screw my head up, and I can't talk because I can hear myself like a split second after saying something, and that's I don't know what that triggers in my brain, but it locks me down. So I've been kind of stuck with wired headphones on this.
I'm using a sort of another. I'm using a microphone here off camera. Okay. I'm not. I can't use the mic on here. Just the headphones.
You're not hearing yourself then.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Bill's monitoring himself, which, yeah, I can't handle that. I cannot handle talking and hearing myself in my head. It just.
Well, as long as it's lined up, I'm fine. Because it's really.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know that people do it, but
Bill likes complicated. That's why he uses Arch.
Oh, you've been watching the show, have you?
I'm a weed jerk.
Speaking of complications,
that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. I can't listen. I don't know what it is. I know people wear monitors. They listen to themselves, and they're, when they do voiceover and stuff. And like I've tried, it has nothing to do with lag. It's just the fact that I'm hearing. Well, yeah. Obviously you hear yourself when you speak, but you're hearing it through your head. Like that's a different sensation than literally having it pushed into your ears.
It makes the timing feel wrong.
No, it's not. It doesn't even. It's not even timing. Because it's just it's so off-putting. Like I just can't. It's like I'm whispering in my own ear.
Yes,
it's so weird.
You're saying it, and then a half second later you're hearing it again. So the timing is off.
Well, we're not talking about it when it's lagging.
You feel like you're talking over someone else. I'm not talking about.
No, I'm real time with no lag. It just because I can monitor off of my audio input, and it's zero lag. It's not that there's lag. I just can't handle hearing myself open, like in my ears like that. It just drives me crazy. Like I just can't handle it.
I can't stand listening to the show 2 days after I recorded it and hearing myself.
Well,
I have trouble listening to any of my own shows.
I can't do it. I'm like, oh my god, I sound like an idiot. I can't believe.
Well, that's
anybody.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least when you're listening to it, you don't have to look at you.
Yeah, I avoid that too. That is a thing.
Yeah, that's the one I could do without. I got a new camera this last year, and I'm like, why did I get a new camera? No one needs to see me in better quality.
It sure was too.
Yeah. So I use these really weird earbuds it just sits in your ear. There's a little speaker on the inside of that ball, and that speaker is just loud enough, and it does not block your hearing, so I can hear it perfectly around me. I can't stand things that block my hearing. So like any kind of monitor or anything like that. Yeah, so this is just this block part sits on the outside. So I don't know if you can see, but
I would wear that and pretend like it's blocking my hearing. That way people leave me alone.
You wear it on your nose as well,
That is what that looked like.
What's that? Like a nose ring? Yeah.
Use it as
well, they call it an earring. Yeah.
No,
so,
it looks like a Prince Albert to me. Is what it looks like.
No, it's not. There's no. It doesn't.
I couldn't help but notice it was black. So who the hell you think you is, man?
God! The worst jive accent I have ever heard, Bill.
Sounds good to me. Sounds great.
Jive accent in 1986 and just didn't update it.
Anyway, yeah, I'm totally stuck on these ones. Anything else I use, my dad gave me a pair of like Jabras. I don't even know how these are supposed to fit in your ear. Every time I try to put them on, I'm like, how does that sit? It has the little tab.
Yeah, I've got a pair.
Does that tuck into your like earlobe? Like what is that?
Oh no, I have some of the Jabras. That's what the 75T or the 65T.
That's the one with the microphone on it.
Yeah, my
both
dad.
of them. Both of them have
My dad
microphones
gave
on
these to
them.
me. I'm not sure what they are.
I've got the
But the-
10s.
these-
No, those
These
are actually
shots are crystal clear.
the reason
shots
I
are
hate
really
the
good.
Jabras is you have to use the right ear.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing one side, it has to be the right ear because that's where all the controls are. You can't shift them to the left side.
Oh, I
It
see
has
what you're
zero controls.
Yeah.
So
Mine
you
have
can't
controls
like
on
hot
both
swap.
sides.
You must have like the 75 because all I've worked with is the 65.
I'm not sure what
I don't
those are.
remember. They're over on the exercise bike.
Now with the shocks, I've had the aftershocks like the original ones, but they were the wired ones, like way back when the company first started. So the worst thing about those was the fact that they were wired, and if that wire caught on anything or moved around or added that little bit of extra weight to the back, it would keep shifting the bone conduction part backwards. So, but after that, they got expensive, so I quit buying them.
Here's a first world problem. How many things do you have left in your home that aren't USB-C? And
A
how
lot.
annoying is it
A
to
lot.
realize?
A lot,
Do you?
honestly.
Okay.
A lot. Yeah.
Well, you do, of course, Joe, I assume. But it's funny because I'm so used to everything being USB-C that those are all the chargers I have. And now that I realize this is like an old, micro USB? Is that what those are?
Yeah,
Or mini? Micro, I think.
micro.
Micro.
So now I have
Just
to
get the-
find it.
Get the one with the four ends on.
Oh, you have you can just switch it. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I like
Those are
that.
really-
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
smart.
grab another headset because this one that I'm wearing is micro. This one here, the MPOWs, those are micro.
Do you have any minis?
No, that's no.
You can also get
My microphone
Get the-
inside is micro. Let's see, our mini.
Mini.
This is micro,
That's my.
Oh, there you go.
and I got a half
Is
dozen
that
of
a
these.
game controller?
Nope, that's a
Yeah,
micro.
game controller.
Yeah.
That's an Xbox One controller before they changed.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Micro,
Mostly the Switch controller.
micro.
Joe, exactly how many pairs of headphones do you have around?
He's
you
into
right
them.
now?
Micro.
He does a lot of replacing and 3D printing and fixing for a guy that's making fun of my headphones that work
Micro and
perfectly
micro.
since the
Yeah,
day I
but
bought
these-
them.
These are the Razer Nari Ultras, and you're wearing shit on your head.
They sound fine. And by the way, anytime you say that, I just retort with, Joe, you need a better camera than that piece of garbage you're using.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
that applies to
upgraded-
anybody
I've upgraded since
who
you
has
first said that.
anything to
So
say
you
about
wanna-
my technology.
You want a better view of Joe? Do you?
Micro.
no.
Not
He
really,
likes
but,
the
you know.
muscles. What can I say?
This is it's
Hold up, hold up.
descending this.
I think you'd rather the camera be pointing down a little bit further, just to.
Micro.
Yeah, you got too much room. Most people have way too much room over their head. Only Luna's doing it right. Other than
Micro.
I mean,
Eric's
I
okay.
can't believe it. It's
Eric's
so.
close
It's
to it.
all in easy stretch. He's actually got all. Joe, you've got them all. It's not that you've got all these headphones. They're all just easy, stretchable.
They're within
distance
arm's
from you.
reach. Yeah.
Yeah, all within arm's reach. Yeah.
You might have a problem, Joe.
Just saying.
Yeah.
These guys love hardware.
Little. Well, that's someone who's figured out. Oh, he's still going. He got him hooked on the walls.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
Fuck
goodness.
is wrong with you, man?
a clown car full of headphones.
Your audio is kind of crackling. Is that just me, or is Jim? Your
For some
audio?
reason, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Mine is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think,
I hear crackling coming from you
There-
too,
Joe,
I
I
have
think
the
you.
whole
I
show.
think you're now
No, it sounds like
reached
network on your end.
obsession.
Might be.
That's
like-
not just
Well, look.
collection. That is an obsession.
Might be those headphones.
Look,
I don't know.
these are micro as well, and like my kids
Hey, I think it's
love
broke.
the Hesh 3s, and they are the easiest thing in the world to fix, which is why I got so many of them. What got me started on messing around with headphones and fixing them. And that's how I ended up. I got the Razer Nari Ultras, and I really enjoyed them. But then they ended up having a systemic problem with the USB-C. So then I ended up switching to the Arctis. But the Arctis 9Xs are good, but I wanted to try other ones from the line. But the only ones that I could really keep working are these 9Xs. So I have 3 pairs of the 9Xs, one in my work bag, one at my computer in the living room, and then one out here. I had pulled out the Naris because I found I wanted to retry the fix on those, and those are both working again. This blue pair here was my wife's, but she doesn't like the fact that it's a micro connection instead of a USB-C connection, so it got added to my collection because that doesn't bother me. This I had gotten specifically for work. I was going to hook it up to the docking station that I have here for when I'm set up for work. The problem with it is it works perfectly fine in Linux, but on Windows it does not recognize the microphone. So it's in my collection out here. Will I end up giving it to somebody eventually? It seems likely. I've always been a fan of the Skull Candy Crushers, specifically because I can 3D print fixes for it all day. The base is incredible, and I wear these to the gym when I don't want to talk to people because I don't want to wear the Arctises, which will also connect to my phone, because they have this giant microphone on them. So yeah, I do have a lot of different headsets, and yes, I find it fun.
This week in headsets.
Anybody
You should
remember
start
this
a new podcast?
Headset podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
The old television situation comedy Sanford and Son, when Fred Sanford, played by Red Fox, needed a pair of glasses. He went into a junk drawer full of reading glasses and kept trying them on. That's Joe with his headphones. He's gonna grab a bunch of junky headphones from all over the place.
Yeah, you know what? These were junk when I got them, which is why I got like $150 pair of headphones for like $25 or $20 because I paid different prices. But they have 3D printed ear cups to replace the broken portions and the parts that break all the time on these Arctis 9Xs. Because otherwise, these are a quality set of headphones.
Yeah, and I give you credit for being able to repair that stuff, because so much of that type of thing is just literally something cracks and it's like in the trash. So
yeah, broken plastic. That. I mean,
when mine go, I'll consult Joe for my next purchase.
You
should.
If
you need any advice about your camera, I'm an expert. I can help you.
The difference is that I'm going to recommend things to you that I can afford, and you're going to recommend things to me that I can't afford. Like $4,000 cameras that you're currently using.
Oh, is that why he looks so good? Is that why he looks so good? Is you've got?
Yeah, he's using a real camera.
Oh, right.
He's got glare reduction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a Sony mirrorless that if money were no object, I think it's only about $700 or something. That a lot of people recommend.
Nowadays, there are many options. Yeah.
Audio-Technica M50Xs. I have everything from their M line, other than the M70s. Their M line is actually really good for wired. I've 3D printed adapters to increase how they grip on my head and the angle at which they sit. They are awesome, but they are wired. And yes, they have a specific use, and they are connected. And yes, I could probably do this all day.
I never wear.
Hold on, now I got to open the drawer.
I do this show. I just I don't like the experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a pair of headphones I love, but they're so hot. Like, I just sweat like a pig when I wear them. They're Philips.
These are a little
the cushions.
I've got one other pair. That's it.
So that's why I end up wearing earbuds all the time, because I would wear the headphones because they're comfortable, but if they're just so warm.
Okay.
I was a bad person trash stuff that I bent.
And then we get into the MMCXs.
Oh my.
Well, I will spare one of these.
No, I have great respect for anyone who will go through the trouble of fixing things to use them, and especially like you fix things for people and give it away, or have people send you stuff and fix it. That's there's a.
I was going to tell Bill that I was going to work on that tablet this week since I had nothing else to do, and then my rack broke.
No, we had something else to do.
Joe's always got something to do. His innards the last show were just like, oh yeah, and that was up till Tuesday. I'm just like, oh my god, Joe.
I was on vacation for a week.
Me.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, but still,
you gave me free time.
Yeah. Apparently, that's a dangerous thing.
Sometimes it's an expensive thing.
Yeah, well, no, it's
software is free to play with. The hardware costs money, so.
Well, it was actually that was
a lot
interesting. That the replacing 3D printed stuff, because I actually have wondered about that in the past, like the longevity of stuff you print. And I know a lot of it's probably going to be the print quality, the material you choose, and stuff like that. But to hear you say like your headphone hangers and some of that stuff that you were reprinting because it had, I guess, just worn out,
Yep. 3 years, I think, on those, 3 to 5 years on a bunch of those. Some things that seem more use, like my foot pedal that I use whenever I'm working. That maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but it's like a 2-hour long print, so I don't care, and it's very little plastic, and it's extremely useful.
Yeah. Yeah, and to get a year or more out of something that you use a lot, like, absolutely. That's and to be able to, like you said, you didn't even have to do anything other than just put the same model back in and, reprint it. So that's great. And that I can understand is like if there was just a way to have small scale manufacturing where, products were just things you could, run a job, even if it was like a local, like the idea that instead of everything being manufactured on the other side of the planet and then shipped, you know what I mean? Like to have it produced locally so that you bypass all the need for that sort of shipping and all that. But I guess there's limited.
Well, it's not just that. It's just, I fix a lot of things.
Right.
Or make things more useful with a 3D print.
Yeah.
So instead of me
you've
having
said
to
that
go
on
out,
a lot of those ear cups, you said like they're expanded or something to sound better or something.
No, that's actually this set right here. It's expanded for a bit more comfort and to give a bit more space for the bass, to give it a bit more sound, and it does make it sound better. I've also put cotton on the inside to help focus the sound outward, and it does help. The sound quality is improved.
Yeah.
But Jim, the easiest way to get a pair of headphones is say, hey, Joe, send me a pair of headphones.
Isn't that convenient?
Mine are still working, so I'm okay for the moment.
I'm not. I know this is going to sound bad. It's going to sound like I'm taking the piss. I promise I'm not. But those kind of remind me of that dude on Empire Strikes Back, on Lando's floating city. Everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. Like the bar, he was a barman, was he, or something, or he was like secretary or something?
Yeah, and I can't remember his name, but that's what those.
But why?
Big old things on the side of the face. Anyway, I'm not picking on you. I'm just. I should have kept it to myself. Sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. I mean, like, I'm aware that those are giant, but it serves multiple purposes. I mean, yeah, it does provide better sound quality, but also when I go to the gym, it lets everybody know that I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm here to lift weights.
Yeah, I think back to my uncle had those brown ones that everyone had in the 70s that were like 3.5 inches. And then had the big.
I had those. Got them at Radio Shack. They were realistic. Big old. I mean, they weighed 5 pounds too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got them for Christmas.
They like sealed your head off. Yeah.
You had to walk sideways through doorways.
Well, and the cord was so heavy that like wound elastic or whatever the pigtail cord or whatever. Oh man. Yeah, that was fun. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. I'd go up there and listen to all his records. God. When he wasn't home, because if he caught me, I'd get in trouble. Oh, man.
Well, if
Charlie, nice to meet you. I've got to run.
Yeah, I'm going to get going.
Just getting ready to say the same thing.
Yeah, it is running late.
Bye, everyone, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thanks, everybody, in the live stream. We will see you next week. Have a good one.